I might change my mind again, we'll see. So Rolf, you go here. Soren, you go here. Zahark, switch you to Lagoon Slayer, and you go here. Nefany will switch you over to your Forge Weapon and go here. Mia, I'm gonna get rid of that Armor Slayer. Besides that, it'll switch to Steel Sword after, and I like her sitting on the Steel Sword. It works better. That was phrased horribly. I apologize. Half of you were laughing your butts off, and the other half was like, what? I don't get it. If you didn't, that's probably a good thing. As for Ike's items, I don't want to waste that Regal Sword, but the Steel Sword might be a good call here. Well, no, we should keep him with the Iron Sword, because I don't want him killing enemies. That's Rolf's job here. So, that'll work. If you did keep Soren as a Wind Sage, or Wind Mage, though, this would be a pretty good spot for him to get level ups. But it's still pretty good regardless, because unless it's a healer or another magic-based unit, and maybe a Pegasus Knight, Sages can pretty much tear up any unit they want to. And with Soren having pretty high speed overall whenever he gets to Sage, like, he'll be able to hit stuff pretty accurately. He might even double units that you wouldn't think he'd be able to. Iron Bow can do it. Can Steel Bow do it? No, not quite. Okay, we'll just use the Iron Bow. No big loss. But yeah, the thing I was primarily trying to do is get Rolf some level ups, because this is a fantastic spot for him to get level ups. Obviously, you can't move off the boat, so this is kind of a let them come to you type of stage. I'm going to go ahead and heal Mia here, even though it's only 7 health, since Myrmidons don't have ridiculously high HP. It just makes sense to do that. So I'm pretty much letting the ranged units that I have go after it on this one. If I start to get overwhelmed, not seriously, but you know, enough to where it's like, okay, there's, for example, right here, there's 3 crows on the ship, probably a 4th one will join them. I know for a fact, as good as Rolf is, he can't kill 3 enemies in one turn. That's when I would start using my other units, like Nefany and Mia and what have you. Oh, nice. Okay, so she goes again, that guy's out. Nope, not quite. These guys do have pretty high speed, though, so that's kind of bound to happen. And check it out, it's Jill again, caught up at last. I'll do this on my own, I will not let them escape. Huh, what are those things, giant birds? Disgusting, could they be, are they bird half-breeds? Really, you have this much hatred towards Lagoos and you've never heard of the bird Lagoos at all. Okay. Well, with that being said and done, I was trying to think about how I want to get, because I do want Soren to attack this turn. We'll go ahead and have Nefany attack this guy. Soren, you get rid of this one down here. I feel kind of bad stealing that away from Mia after she got that critical. At the same time, though, like I said, I really want Soren to become a Sage as soon as I can. You'll notice when fighting these birds that a lot of them drop items, a lot of them drop coins. This guy has a demi-band on, which is kind of important later. You'll see one later. Basically, he just never has to switch back, so the goose gauge for him will always stay max. You do obviously lose stats for this. As you can see, he's lost a little bit of points, but if you don't ever want to have to worry about transferring back, it's very useful. At the same time, I feel like if you're only using 1 or 2 Lagoos, the stones are enough to get you out of a serious problem. So I don't think it's a fantastic item, but if you want to use it, by all means, go for it. What that bird dropped, in case we have not seen one, is a coin. This is the most useless item that you'll see in Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. It's a golden coin for currency. It can be exchanged for exactly 1 gold. That is its purpose. Now, for those of you that were like me, or have seen the sequel to this game, Radiant Dawn, these coins can be used when you're forging a weapon. And I'll talk about that while I'm working through this level. In forging a weapon, after you're done, the guy that will forge it says, oh, I see you have a coin, do you want to use it? And if you select yes, it will give you a stat improvement randomly based on a card that you draw. So it could add 2 power, could add 10 hit percentage, something like that. However, this is only the case in Radiant Dawn. In Path of Radiance, they do nothing. I've checked. And there we go, that's Ike's final stats until he class changes story-wise, because that is the highest he can go. There you go. See, experience has the 2 dashes. But in this game, they do not do anything. You can trade them over to your Path of Radiance file, however, or to your Radiant Dawn file. However, that's kind of dumb for, like, trading all that for a chance at a boost, because there's a card in there called the Vines card, and it's not a guarantee that you won't draw that, because the Vines card will not get you anything. And as somebody who tried to rig the system in their favor, if you pick a card and it's not the one you want, and you save just before then and then just turn the game off and back on and pick a different card, it's actually the same card. So no matter which card you pick, it will always be the same thing. So you can't even force that in your favor. Kind of obnoxious, but what are you going to do? So yeah, just sell the coins. They don't have any other purpose. So Jill here is basically going to fly over to Ike and talk to him momentarily. I'm going to move everybody back into the position they're supposed to be in here. And heal them along the way, too, because Mia got beat up a little bit there. Did the heart get hit there? No, he didn't. Okay, he's fine. Nefne got hit, yeah. Not much, but, you know, better be safe than sorry. Vulneraries are pretty inexpensive, too. I don't think Ike's in trouble, but we can use the inventory slot, so we'll go ahead and heal him. Rolf, you're fine, so let's end. So Jill will come to you, don't even worry about her. She won't attack the other enemies, and as far as I remember, she doesn't get attacked when she's an other unit, unless she can't reach Ike and she's just trying to get close to him, basically, and she can't reach him. Then they might attack her. You! Why are you lollygagging about? Well, because I'm level 50 and I can't get any more experience. I am Jill Fizzard, Wyvern Rider of Dayan, attached to Commander Har's battalion. I offer a truce. You chased me all the way to offer truce. I cannot sit by and allow a human vessel to be attacked by subhuman degenerates. I will fight with you. We will accept no help from Dayan. This is no place for foolish pride. At this rate, the subhumans will devour you. I will not accept aid from anyone who thinks the Goos are subhuman. What are you babbling about? I'm on your side. We'll talk after I chase out these crows. Bleed the half-breed! What in the world is going on? Jill's being weird. That's what's going on. Whatever. So, anyway, I forgot to actually look up the stats for Jill, so I should probably do that momentarily. But while I'm doing that, I can at least talk about Jill, because this is a type of unit that we have seen, but we've not gotten yet. This is one of 2 Wyvern Riders you'll get in the game. This is, like I said, only one of 2, and the other one's okay. He's amazing in the next game, but in this game, he's not very good. Jill, however, is actually relatively decent. She's a Wyvern Rider, as you've seen. These are a lot like the Pegasus Knights units. They're able to cross over lots of different land types that not a lot of other units could. The difference mainly between the Wyvern Riders and the Peg Knights is generally Wyvern Riders will have higher strength, higher defense, and I believe one more movement, but I'm not 100% certain. That might not be this game, but mostly higher strength and higher defense, while Pegasus Knights are more higher speed, higher resistance. I kind of prefer the Wyvern units. Like, Pegasus Knights are kind of 50-50 in games for me, but Wyvern Knights are usually pretty solid. Unless the Wyvern Knight themselves just not any good, they're pretty solid typically. So, Jill's growth rates are as follows. HP 60%, Strength 40%, Magic 30%, Skill 45%, Speed 45%, Luck 25%, Defense 35%, and Resistance 30%. So her stats are pretty well rounded. It's kind of weird to see a Wyvern Rider with a magic growth of 30%. That's kind of weird. But she's got pretty good to above average growths in strength, skill, speed, and defense, which are obviously stats I find very, very important. Since her magic growth is pretty high, this makes her a pretty good contender for like the magic-based weapons like the Bolt Axe and the Flame Lance that we'll see later. Her main weakness is her very low resistance, and she is weak to wind magic because she is a flying unit. The wind magic itself, I guess, could be negated with a full guard accessory, but I tend to stick other units with a full guard accessory, so it's not that big a deal. But she can take a pretty decent amount of damage from non-magical attacks, so she can be a very useful unit. I do plan on using her in this playthrough. She also comes with 2 different equip items. She's got the Wyvern Band, which is just like the bands that we've been seeing, and also the Laguz Guard. This is similar to the opposite of what Leith has, which is the Bjork Guard, as soon as I can find her on here. Oh wait, I took her out of the battle. What am I talking about? The Laguz Guard will basically have any damage from Laguz attacks rather than Bjork. So that's a pretty useful item if you want to use the Wyvern Band. You can always just throw the Laguz Guard on somebody who can't have a band because, you know, somebody else might have it, so Zahar could be a good contender for this, since Mia's already got the sword band. But, I mean, it's kind of up to you. But she is a very useful unit. I would probably recommend either getting her an Iron Lance or forging another weapon, though, because her speed currently is pretty low. I mean, it's only 9, which at this point's kind of low. So you might want something that can double attack most enemies in one round, and maybe something a little bit stronger because her strength is 11. At the same time, I mean, 11 and 10, so about where your Myrmidons are for strength right now. similar to Nephany, so a forged weapon would help, but once she gets to her class change, she probably won't need the forged weapons anymore, and she'll do fine by herself. So, in doing that, I'm going to move Ike over here, and Jill forward right there, so Jill's actually in Ike's slot now, because Ike's 20, and there's no point in wasting his attacks for experience that I want to be able to use. At this point, Seeker, the boss, is probably going to start coming after you, and there will be reinforcements, but, I mean, it's not that big of a deal. This will give you an idea of what Jill can do damage-wise. And that's 5 times 2, that's with the Laguz Guard on, otherwise it'd be 10 times 2, and that'd leave her at 4. Her hit percentage is also a little bit low, which, granted, this is a high-speed unit, but that's also why I would recommend at the start probably forging her a better weapon. It's not that she's bad, she's kind of ill-suited for this level, to be honest. Like, this is not a very good level for a unit like Jill. Your units need to be either high defense, bonus damage dealers, or people that can actually, you know, not get a hit twice in one round, or maybe hit them twice in one round. So, it's a little bizarre, but it's up to the player, of course. Let's see if I can knock out this guy with Soren and Rolf combined. Which I should be able to get this guy with even a basic bow. Steel bow? I don't want to risk missing that, so. It's a little bit cheap of an excuse, but I would rather not miss. Nice, there we go. Sweet, got that strength point that I wanted. HP's always nice too. Secret book, I believe we've not seen this yet. It is basically one of those items like the Seraph Robe. It permanently increases a stat. In that case, it is skill by 2. So you can get a secret book in this level and a Seraph Robe in this level. In fact, you'll have to get them pretty much because it's a route enemy, so you will be getting that item, which is pretty cool. And that fire just broke, but that's alright. Alright, Soren, I'm going to have you come back and heal. Oh, I forgot I had L-Fire. Probably should have used that. Oh well. Rolf will put you back in the spot you were initially at. No, I don't want to have Nephany take that damage. Rolf's bow? Yeah, we can use Rolf's bow this time. Cool. How much damage he does will drastically increase, not just because he got that point in strength, but because it gets amplified by the bonus damage that he's doing with a bow, which is kind of cool. Here we get to see how Jill's attack animation looks. I forgot that these were set to auto. Or, you know, manual, like, switch them to whatever you want. There's her missing animation. Hooray! Great start there, Jill. Great start. She actually is a very good unit, and in the sequel to this game, I highly recommend her as well. Both her and the other Wyvern user that you'll get in that game. He's a freaking tank in that game. He's absolutely ridiculous. Like, the only reason that he's not better than Jill in that game is because his resistance is a little bit lower, so he's not good for endgame. Aside from that, he's amazing. Okay, this is route, not... Okay, yeah. I was making sure it wasn't defeat boss, because I didn't want to, you know, get an opportunity to get this guy over here and then not do it. But yeah, Seer will go down with any bonus damage thing. He doesn't have a full guard to block it, so... He can be a threat. If Zahark had been attacked twice there, he would have died. So, whenever Seeker starts to get close, Blue Gem can be sold for a lot of gold, I think 5,000, but either way. With Seeker, you need to put somebody there that can either, you know, has pretty high defense, so they won't take a lot of damage, even if they get hit twice, or somebody that you think has a pretty good chance at dodging or not getting hit twice, one of the two. Yeah, I'd rather Nephany got this kill. I can try to get it with Jill. Is there another? Yeah, there is another guy down here. How much is he gonna do? 3 times. Oh, well, that's not that much damage. Let's give it a shot. Even though it's only 58, I would never recommend doing this. Oh, she got a critical. Okay, that works. Oh, no, she didn't. That was a normal attack. It looked like it was a critical animation. It seemed like a bit much to fly way up into the sky only to come down and, you know, poke him and then not be a critical. Oh well, that's what I get for assuming. Yeah, I want to heal Zahart just in case. I don't think there's anything over there. Once Seeker's gone, the fight's pretty much over. Seeker's the only guy that'll probably give you trouble. If you can get past him, you're pretty much set. You can see why I said this wasn't a hard level, though, and why I obviously went back, because it's like, well, this is a good spot to get experience for some of your units. And the fact that Rolf only got, I think, like, 1 kill last time I did it, it was just kind of like, well, we can do better than that, I'm pretty sure. Which is far to that's not enough. Okay, 17, 13, 9. Well, I kind of want Neffany to get it, but Neffany can attack on the front lines, and Rolf's not going to get a lot of opportunities to get bonus damage again, so I'd rather him take it. And while Jill might seem like a decent choice, like I said, not a level that's very suited for Jill. So there's an arm scroll right there, so if you need to boost up anybody's weapon level, you can do so right there. I think Jill starts at Lance level D when she class changes, so you'll have the ability to use axes. I usually stick with Lances for her, though, because I'm not a big fan of axes. Oh well. I'll check on it. Oh, everybody's didn't really get hurt that bad. Zahart got a little bit beat up by the boss, but he's fine now. How's the ship? Completely immobilized. We can't shake free. Oh, that's fantastic. I feel useless just waiting around here. There has to be something I can do to help. Dude, the ship is stuck underwater, and going on land is not going to help. Hey, Ike, where are you going? Should you be leaving the ship? I want to go ashore and see what I can see. Keep in mind we're on Goldoa. Not a wise idea. Ike, behind you. You there, what are you doing? Huh? And Nasir runs off. Thanks, buddy. This is Goldoan territory. Outsiders are not permitted. Yeah, once again, the ship should not have been going that close to the rocks. Any idiot could have realized that was not a good idea. Hey, it's Dragon Lagoos! Hooray! Oh, don't worry, you'll get your opportunity to fight them. Not these characters in particular, but Dragon Lagoos, you'll get your chance at them. Don't worry. They're pretty nasty, actually. So this is Kurth Naga. This is actually, I don't know if they tell you outright. Yeah, they do tell you outright. This is the Prince of Goldoa. And yes, that is a dude. It looks like a woman. I'm pretty sure Kurth Naga's a dude. Now I'm just looking for either a he or she to show up in here so I can figure it out, just to make sure. But either way, apparently Kurth Naga actually knows what manners means, and also knows that the Ravens have been causing trouble anyway. So Gareth, who's apparently like this guy's right-hand man, maybe? We'll have the dragons push the ship out of the way. That's one way to do it. It's a yeah. Now imagine you having to take one of those down later in the game. Ooh boy. They're actually not as bad in this game as they are in Radiant Dawn. In Radiant Dawn, they can actually be a little bit tougher just because of how they work in that game. Because in this game, they can only attack from one space away, and in Radiant Dawn, they can attack from 1 or 2 squares away. Yep, that's true. Goldoa has no contact. They've essentially shut themselves out from the rest of the world. And that whole thing about them being around ever since the goddesses walked on the earth, that's actually true. They're very, very old. I believe the actual king of Goldoa has actually seen them. I mean, he's an old dude. So they have moved the ship, even though it's standing in the exact, or floating in the exact same position. Well, that's good. If you need food for... No, I got some water right here. I always keep it handy. Always keep it handy. Ah. We're beginning to run low on water. No, we're not. I'm still like... only probably drunk a quarter of this. I'm good. Any fruit? Ooh, some fruit would be nice. Maybe some lime sherbet if you got any of that back there. Kind of in the mood for it. Thanks, buddy. See, this guy's alright. He just understands the concept of not being a jerk and helping somebody who actually needs help. Yeah, if only. No. We'll take it. We'll take it. Keep in mind, we took the... what was it, like 200,000 gold from Renulf? So, I mean, you know, every little bit helps. Even though this won't actually do anything for your journey. It's nice to see them not be jerks, because if we had to fight them right now, we would be screwed. That Lagoose Slayer would not help. Adios, buddy. Thanks. See you later. I don't remember if he shows up later in this game. I know he shows up in Radiant Dawn. I don't remember if he shows up in this one again. He probably will, though. How they are all considered Lagoos. What do you mean you can't realize? We're not talking about how... No, we're not doing the whole race thing. I'm sorry. It's not happening. We're skipping this conversation. We're done. The birds of Kilvis and Phoenix seem so cruel. It's more so the ravens than the hawks. As you'll come to find out later in the story, pretty much all of the ravens are mercenaries, and not in the good way. Like, they side with Dan, but as soon as they find somebody else that will pay them more, they're like, screw this, I'm out, I'm switching to the other side. Danes are evil and Crimeans are not. It's as simple as that. It is not as simple as that. I'm sorry. That is not how that works. That's not even remotely close. Yeah, that's true. Good and evil is all relative to the beholder. You vanished out of the trait? Yeah. He's uncomfortable around dragons, and the reason being... And I got a text. The reason he's uncomfortable about dragons is because he is a dragon Lagoose. He already said he was one. He's a dragon Lagoose. They don't really have any distinct features, as opposed to, like, you know, the cats and tigers that have the tail, and... The hawks and the ravens, when they're untransformed, have the wings, so they're kind of obvious. The dragons really don't have anything that sticks out. Let's show what... Yeah, we are, like, down near the bottom of the map. You have a lot to think about. You can't just go to your room and think about it, or your cabin. Okay, weirdo. Yeah, of course, turns to clear, well, it's kind of relative since they're coming to you, but whatever. Slight clear bonus, 300 bonus experience, I'll take it. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been Pitmarthroy, and next time on Let's Play Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, I actually don't remember what level is next, so that could be really good or really bad. So, I guess we'll find out then, alright? See you guys then.